Hello, this is Mark Jenner with Biomass Rules, and today I want to go through this VLOOKUP function for moving data around your spreadsheet. This is the fourth video in this series. We looked at starting with a common downloadable data set, which was from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the CPI values, the Consumer Price Index values. They come out monthly, and the file we downloaded is was given to us with the worksheet name, all items index level, right? And this is a graphic that I is associated with the blog post on how to do this. So the first video was getting the data from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. The second video looked at manually moving data around for small data sets. It makes sense just to drag and drop uh, data. It's a good tool to have. And so I spent some time showing you how to do that. My favorite technique is using the index match function. It's pretty sophisticated. And that's what the second video was on. This video, actually, the second video of how to move data, that was the third video in the series. The This video is the fourth video of the in this what the function series, and it's the using the VLOOKUP function, right? That was a lot. It's just much more concise way to do it than the index match series we looked at. But it, so we're just going to spend a little time on the theory, and then we're going to go to the spreadsheet and do it in just a minutes. So this is a portion of the spreadsheet we pulled down, right? So it goes all the way out to December if you go to the right, and it goes all the way down to 2025 if you continue down the rows. But we're going to do this in another spreadsheet. It's going to give us a chronological time series of one column starting with January of 2000 and going down to April of 2025. And then we're going to use the VLOOKUP function. The V stands for vertical, so we're using going up and down in the search array. There's a HLOOKUP function. You can do that horizontally, search horizontally. There's an XLOOKUP function, and the XLOOKUP function works like the other two lookups, except that the ranges are not spatially tied. You can just assign different ranges. It kind of frees up some uses, but this is old standby. VLOOKUP's been around a long time. We're just going to work with VLOOKUP today. So this is the format. We got a look. It's very similar to the format of the index function. Three parts. We got a first thing is what are we looking up? And that's the lookup value. The second component is where are we going to look for this? And then the third component is like where in that array are we gonna find our number? And so to do that, we're going to start with the date, right? And we've had a little bit of a conflict as we've looked at these different methods. The dates in the original file are all texts. So the months, they're alphanumeric characters. You can't add those. They're non-numeric, right? But the numbers actually, even though they look like a number, they're treated as words, and you can't add those either. We're going to create a numeric date value, and so we're going to have to convert the numeric date value in column A to a text value. And that's what this text function does for us, is it gives us a text equivalent of those four Y's indicate the four-character version of the year. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the text version of the year from our date in column A. Then we're going to go tell it to look in this original sheet of CPI values. We're going to start in column A with the years, and we're going to go all the way to December. We're going to not include the first row, which is the headings for the months. And then we're going to use the date again, A2, column A. We're going to use that date to give us the numeric value of the date. For January, that'd be 1, or February would be 2, March would be 3. But because our array starts in column A, we have to add a column to it. So we're just going to use the month, um, the month value from our date in A2, and we're going to add a 1 to it, and it'll tell us which column to give us the value that lines up with the year. In this case, it's 2000, right? So that's what we're doing. We're going to do that just now, and we're going to do it in very short time, right? So this is the CPI values from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. This is the file we cleaned up that we've been using for all these videos, and we're going to add a sheet, right? There's different ways to add a sheet. We're going to label it because that's a good habit. And then we're going to put column headings here because that's a good habit too. Uh, so we're working with the consumer price index for the urban areas, which is CPIU is what the Bureau of Labor and Statistics uh, refers to it as, right? So there's lots of ways to fill in dates and numbers. You know, anytime you shouldn't type them in. There's lots of ways. This is my old standby way of picking three consecutive values, in this case, dates. If you use two, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It gets a little confused if you're not careful. And then, oh, let me show you here. The cursor matters, right? So here we have an open white plus sign. If we get on the border, it turns to lines plus sign with arrows on the end. But if we get on this green box, it turns to solid black. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to hold my mouse button down, and I'm going to drag it down to April 2025. 300 values, give or take a few. And so you have to pay attention. Because if you go too fast, you'll go way past it. If you don't go fast enough, it takes forever. So there we got it. Look at that. Pretty nice. Now we're going to add these. We're going to just type in VLOOKUP. We got to start with the plus equal sign. That's what turns it on. This time I'm going to use this little helper thing and just click on this. It gives us the syntax of these three parts. And then we're gonna just type this in, right? So now we're gonna look in column in oh, I forgot. Doesn't matter. We're gonna look in column A, and this is a numeric value, so we're just gonna get the text uh, from A2, and then we need the syntax for the text year, which what we want are the 4-character year. The important part of this is this code for the year is in quotation marks. If you don't put the quotation marks in there, I don't think it'll give you what you want. All right, so that's the first parameter. What are we looking for? We're looking for the text value of the year in the date. And then we're going to go to this table. We just moved over to the next worksheet. We're going to highlight all the columns, all the rows, except for the first row. And I'm going to put a comma here to end that, right? So now we've got the second part. When I came back to my sheet, it gave me more information than I wanted, but I'm going to just delete this. So I'm going to add the month in here now. And we can type it in or use those helper things. I want to look in A2, right? So this will give me the month value of the date in A2 is January, which is 1, right? But we need to be in column 2 in our array because the first column is the labels for the row. So we're just going to add a 1 here, which will take the column number we get from the date and add a 1 to it. Then we're going to close off our VLOOKUP function, right? And so this is the number I was looking for in January, the January CPI value for 2000. The one thing I have to do is anchor the range of that lookup array. And I could have done this as I typed it in, but I want to show you this. The F4 key, if you press it, it puts an anchor in front of the column address and in front of the row address. so that as we copy these formulas, the range will change. Okay, that's what we wanted, right? So here we have the value we want. It's ready to copy. And again, if I just hit the end down key, it takes me down to row 104, sorry, 1,048,576. We don't want that. So if I use end down in this column A, it will take me to the end of the contiguous values, which is down here in April. And then I'm going to come over here to the right. I'm going to hold the shift key down now, and then I'm going to click end up. Now I've highlighted everything from the bottom cell to the top, and I'm going to paste my numbers in there. And here we go. So if I click over here to the original table, you can see that April of 2025 is 320.795. And that's what I got here. And so spot checking is a good way to um, validate things. All right, so that's what I want to show you. I think we'll just wrap it up there. There's a few other things. There's lots of things that I could expand on this about. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Catch you on the next video.